Hello YouTubers, so this video is on these two fixtures here. Now of course these two were victims of being replaced over to LED, and sadly these fixtures are only like 6 years old. So I have a whole bunch of these things. Matter of fact, I got two up in here. I got this guy, that's LED now, and then this one's also LED. They're just different color temperatures. These originally used to be 26 watt CFL fixtures. Okay, so this is another one of those fixtures, but this one had an emergency ballast in it, but I removed it since it was not needed and the ballast was junk on this fixture, so I just converted it to a regular fixture using the regular ballast that was already in there. And this one has those Fiat LED bulbs. And I got a whole tub of the bulbs right here. Yeah, there's two types of bulbs. There's a Phillips bulb, and I believe there was a Halco bulbs. Now the place where I got these from, these used to be outdoor fixtures in a patio area. And these things would be day burning 24/7. I don't know why they were always on during the day, but maybe they had a stuck photocell eye or something. But and I wouldn't be surprised. The very few that are still up, there's still a few of these up, but with the CFL bulbs, they're just day burning all the time. Now these particular bulbs, these Phillips ones, were only used in these emergency fixtures. Which, by the way, I don't have the emergency ballast connected. The batteries on these things are shot. There's an inspection barcode. I'm sure fire alarm enthusiasts are familiar with that. And then here's a record here. It looks like it was last tested in 2018. Made by Spectrum Lighting. And I had to get new nuts for these because I bought these nuts, I believe, at Tractor Supply, so they're 8-32s. Pretty common size for a lot of this stuff. Spectrum Lighting. Check out that model number. I bet that's the longest model number you've ever seen. Now, I'm quite curious if these fixtures are common. I've seen these reflectors, but not the surface mount type, so I wouldn't be surprised if these are custom fixtures by the architect or what. It has a Phillips Advanced program start ballast. That is a program start ballast you see in there, which apparently those are they actually extend the life of CFL bulbs a lot longer. But the only downside of these CFL bulbs are, especially on a program ballast, is if one goes out, the whole thing's out. Kind of like T12 fixtures, but that's just the nature of a program start ballast. So this rig you see going on here, I have 3 batteries hooked in series, I believe, to make up the weird voltage that these batteries call for, which this is the original battery you see here. These are NiCad batteries, or nickel cadmium, which by today's standards we consider crap. They're not the greatest batteries, but they still have their own uses. This one's completely dead. I tried charging one of these up one time and it just wouldn't charge. The little light was on. So what I did instead is I just took some of these rechargeable batteries. So what I have going on here, these 3 are hooked in series and these other 3 are hooked in series, but then I parallel them together to boost the power a little bit without overvolting the ballast in there, which is made by Phillips. It's a Phillips bottle line ballast. So now this bulb you see here, it's very mercury starved, as you can see, and it's glowing on the ends. That's off of these batteries. So now, I'll probably stop the video here because these bulbs are a pain in the butt to take out without breaking them. Okay, so I put a new bulb in there, and this one should be a good one. So this one is running completely off batteries here. It's not very bright. There's a lot of striations, I believe is what you call them, going across the bulb. That's why there's all these little lines. It works off of these batteries, but I don't know how long it lasts for. Wouldn't be surprised about the parallel more of these batteries together. Now, as far as the LED bulbs go, I usually use these. This particular one's, matter of fact, my local Home Depot. I guess these are not very popular. Nobody's really buying them, so they marked a bunch of these down. So I got a whole tub full of these things. I got a whole tub in here full of these bulbs because I believe I have like 10 more of these fixtures. And these things were about to go to the landfill, sadly, but I saved about as much as I can. They're awesome little fixtures. I'm just quite curious to know if these things were custom or these are standard in some buildings around the country. And then these ones I've recently got, these particular bulbs off of Amazon. This one's the 2700, which is soft white, that's in that fixture there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take two bulbs, I'm going to put them in this fixture, and we're going to compare this wattage wise with the watt meter I got going on there. Okay, so I got my CFLs back in the fixture here. Now those bulbs are 26 watts a piece. I don't know if you can see, but right now it's taking about 48 watts. That is the fixture with its original bulbs in it. Now this one is a standalone fixture. And this one here, like I said, this one's an emergency ballast fixture. These used to be on a 277 volt environment. But now these are running on 120 volts because these program ballasts can support that. So these things warm up relatively quick. So this one, I believe it says it uses 12 watts. These are fantastic bulbs. I don't really have too many issues with these. So now what I'll do, I'm going to switch these CFLs out for these. Okay, so I got these LED bulbs. So then these ones are the Fiat ones. So plug it in and we can see. Now, as you notice how it starts dim and it pops to full brightness, that's pretty normal with these LED bulbs. And look at that. Look at the wattage difference here. We went from 48 to 22. So it's actually using a little bit less than what these would usually consume by what one of these would consume by themselves. 4 watts less than this. And that's with the ballast and everything. It's quite impressive. And it is a lot brighter, I'll tell you that. Now, of course, I know LEDs are not perfect. They have their own set of problems. I don't buy the life expectancy of 10 years or whatnot. These things have components in them that will fail way before that 10-year mark, depending on how much you use the light source. It's nice and bright. 25,000 hours, I don't think so. But I don't know why this didn't do this. I'd rather a fixture just put some direct replacement LEDs and replace the whole thing. It just doesn't make sense to me why some places do that. They replace a totally good working fixture with a fixture where you can't replace the bulb. So if the LEDs fail on that new fixtures, that's it. Time to replace the whole thing again. So counterproductive in my opinion. Versus if one of these goes out, just bam, replace it bulbs like normal. But this one, it looks like there was a little issue when the people were removing these. Because this one looked like it got a nice 277 volt spark in the back, or a short. Now these could actually be mounted to an octagon light fixture box. You see 277 volts only. Well, that ballast could support 120. These both could support 120. It's a false claim. So yeah, these are pretty good fixtures. I actually am glad I saved these. Because like I said, I have like 10 more of these put away. These were victims of being replaced over to LED. So now, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I'm going to take one of these bulbs out. Because there's always this confusion with these LED bulbs to see if they'll run on an emergency ballast. So there's that. So we'll do that next. Okay, so I popped the bulb out of this working fixture as you saw in the video. And I shoved it on this emergency ballast fixture. And the reason that this bulb is not in here is because this one is not on the emergency ballast. Only this socket's connected to the emergency ballast. That's why there is one bulb. So probably you guys have been wondering what happens if you connect a direct replacement LED bulb to an emergency ballast. So we have my same setup going. Nothing changed. So here you go. Nothing. I don't know if you can hear that high squeal noise, but that ballast is trying to get this bulb to light up, but it can't because this bulb wasn't intended to be used with an emergency ballast. So yeah, that is what happens if you try to even shove one of these bulbs in here. Just cluelessly start shoving these bulbs wherever, which a lot of places are doing that these days, and that's a no-no because that's a liability risk that you're putting yourself into. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of these fixtures.